Good morning. This is Alicia Preston with Cloud-Based Services. Let's talk about getting exactly what you want from QuickBase by integrating third-party apps with your system. But first, who is Cloud-Based Services, and why do we know so much about working with QuickBase? As an award-winning premier QuickBase partner, we've worked with hundreds of QuickBase clients to dial in smart tools for their unique business needs. We're all about making business simpler by eliminating tedium, refining processes, and applying the best of cloud computing to boost productivity. Here we are at a glance. So let's talk about creating successful QuickBase integrations. From a back-end perspective, integration just means sharing data from one database with another. To do so, we have to introduce the two systems and tell them exactly which data to extract and where to put it, but we'll get to that. Here's the integration process we recommend, step by step. First, it's important to articulate your business goals and draft a clear plan. Next, you'll define the data you need to move and where to put it. Then test your new app, communicate the goals and benefits to your user base, and finally, go live. A word about gathering requirements. Every piece of software should have a job description. That means thinking through your use cases at the outset so you can build the system the smart way and get it right the first time. In other words, make sure you can identify exactly why you're integrating these systems. User stories are a way to clarify that. For instance, your executive team may want to see financial and operational data in one place. That's a use case. Next, you want to define where to find the data you'll need to achieve the goal of the use case you've defined. Typically, this will mean determining which tables, fields, and reports you want to move from one system to another. Together, these will define your query or report. You can see here that you have options for how you move data across systems. These include extracting CSV files and posting them on shared FTP sites, using connectors or code that various software providers have written, using third-party integration services like Zapier or Workato, or having a coder use existing APIs. There are pros and cons associated with each option. Give us a call at Cloud-Based Services, and we're happy to talk through the advantages and disadvantages of each approach. Next, you'll want to create a specific query or data extract. Review the report. Make sure it not only includes the specific fields you need, but also a unique key that lets each system distinguish one record from another. Here's a snapshot of the key ingredients you're dealing with here. The unique key is critical in helping match records in the destination with records in the source system. We also recommend that you bring any foreign keys or related fields that are in the table, as well as the last date and time that the data was updated. Finally, we recommend that you bring raw data rather than calculated fields. For instance, if you're calculating average unit price in the source system, bring the total sales and total units sold from the source into the destination. You can always recalculate the average price in the destination. Once you've identified the data you want to take out of one system, you need to make sure there's a place for it to land. That means thinking about the fields within the destination table and any calculated fields and formulas you want to create, like the example of the average unit price I just mentioned. Taking time to build out formulas and calculations based on the data you've brought in will ensure your user community can use the data right away. Now let's talk about quality assurance. Validating data while it's in process is always a good idea. For example, if you're moving the date of a completed milestone from one system to another, build the formula field into the data extract to check that the date is in the recent past. Also, if your data extract contains out-of-date or incomplete records, restrict your query to avoid bringing over the bad data with the good. You can always decide to include those records later, after they've been cleaned up. Once you've written or configured your integration code, you want to test it, and you want to test in several ways. Review the data extract to make sure you're pulling in the right records and fields. Review any transformation or any changes you're making in the data as you move it, and review the data in the destination to make sure it loads properly. Once you've tested it, create a communication plan. Let your users know that they can now see up-to-date data in the app. The user story you articulated at the beginning of the process can be very helpful here. So there you are. Those are the basics of running a good integration project. We hope these tips have been helpful, and we'd love to hear what you thought. Please send questions or comments to sales@cloudbasedservices.com. Thank you.